Nobody, absolutely nobody 13-0s Dobros around here, but they can certainly get 13-2'd. Statement map coming out from MXS, tie us up in the series and take us over to a map 3. Fans, just what happened?
I think it's like when we said in the green room before we started the game, one team shot and one team won, and then it was going to be MXS that was doing both at the same time. I mean, what happened was a general outclass of how MXS just won every single duel of everything they wanted to default, and also on every single hit. Like these 4 positions, I've said it like 3 or 4 times in the half. It didn't really give a chance here for DB to set up on any type of retake plays, and that seemed to be the game plan in the beginning though for Dobros, just because you have an Astra, you have some flashes, you could really create some more screens around the map so that you could start retaking these sites. But MXS are just ready from beginning to end just to be able to close that map quite easily here. 12-0 and a half. We missed out on a 13-0. That sucks. I don't think I've a caster at 13-0 in Valorant yet.
Oh, I mean, I've had 13-0s in my games, but we won't talk about that.
I think that's when we played ranked games, and then we never played again, Comps.
But yeah, I just got flamed, and I'm just a bystander. You're right, Sarah. You know what, fans? You're a bully.
My brain's just melting after that 12-0, but I'm not going to take anything away, though, from MXS and from Dobros. Both of these teams looked amazing so far in their respective map picks. So, I'm hoping that it will be a lot closer on a map like Ascent, but who knows at this point? Who knows?
I mean, despite the results over on Lotus B starting it off, I mean, again, this is MXS that we're talking about. It's the team that went 5-0 in the first stage competition. It is a really, really strong, talented group of players. So for this to go in a 2-0 in Dobro's way, especially over on the map Pick a Breeze, I would have been shocked. This had to be competitive in some sort of way. I didn't expect necessarily Gomps that it was going to be so one-sided this time around. But really, in the past, Dobros, it's kind of been a little bit of a struggle over on Breeze. Even when you're bringing out something like the Yoru as well, they're starting on the defense, I think was just a little hard pressed. And honestly, MXS, they just kind of looked warmed up across the board.
I think they were just so separated as well. Like, I don't know, with the composition that MXS had, it made sense for the way they wanted to play. But when you have a Yoru and you have a double controller composition, I feel like you can't really accompany that with a passive play. There are times where obviously you can play for the default, you know, if you're looking for picks, depending on the play style of the other team. But I didn't feel like they were kind of feeding into that nonsense. And so they just stayed back. They knew that this team wasn't going to get aggressive. And even then, like, when they did get aggro, it was the Yoru going in by themselves, which just really felt messy.
I mean, I'm definitely a Euro denier out here. I think a lot of the times I'm not enjoying it. But we're just going to put Breeze behind us, all right? It was the tropical vacation. We've come back home, and now we're coming back to the classic Valorant map of Ascent for our third and decider map in this series. This one will be interesting because, Vans, when we're looking at teams where they have to start getting acclimated to maps first, something that needs to be a little bit stronger in their grasp, Ascent is definitely one of them. And having this be a map that is so figured out, especially with what they've shown us in the series, that they'll bring newer ideas. I'm curious if we are going to see tried, true, traditional, try and out aim and out strat, or if we'll see something kind of up their sleeve.
Yeah, I almost feel it's going to be the out train and out strat, I guess, with the default compositions. But if anything, maybe role changes could be a difference right now for Ascent, because we had an opportunity now to witness Riku playing a Jet on a map like Breeze. Although it didn't have the best results overall as a team, it shows that maybe if you're going to be able to maybe min-max by changing a little bit of these roles on the side of Dobros, it might change the playstyle over that maybe could give them an edge against MXS. But I now that I think about it, probably not, because I don't think you're going to try to play a double duelist at this point on a map like Ascent unless they pull out the Yoru again. But if it's going to be single Jet with the default comp, I think Zachary should be going back on that.
The the role change has definitely been interesting going on for today. It is just the first week, so kind of figuring that out a little bit. I like that there is that willingness to experiment with who's slotting into each role and whereabouts that should be landing, because they do kind of have a week buffer to figure this out. And going up against MXS, I mean, it was definitely going to be an uphill battle of a match. But Gomps, we've gotten to see that Dobros, when they're matching up 1v1, they have been shooting. It's whether they have enough of that firepower to deal with the momentum that MXS now has taken into this map.
They've taken their wife, their kids, and their lives at this point. And I feel like moving forward,
A little harsh.
Listen, it's vice versa. Both of them had a fair fight. I feel like we're in the third map now. We've had some troubles on both sides. They're just hashing it out. But I think the third map is good. I am interested because I know we've kind of incorporated the deadlock, and we actually just recently saw the deadlock on a map like Ascent as well. I kind of want to see, you know, obviously for Dobros, it does work when they bring something out that's different than the crowd, right? Because they just know how to play so well in a space where it's just something so different. And I feel like when they try to follow the trend, it doesn't really fit who they are, or I guess their play style and their comforts as players individually. So I really do hope that, you know, they try to step away from the mold just a little bit. I do think that'll serve them.
I'd be excited to see the deadlock pick. We saw Turtle Troop with it, then YFP have picked it up. Vance, I don't think the deadlock is a bad call. I mean, a drone was piloting deadlock quite well over on Lotus, being able to shut that down as well with Dobro starting on the defense.
Yeah, actually, that's a good shout at the same time, because if they got some good success out of that on Lotus before, and we've seen some crazy stuff with, you know, just pulling out somehow an Omen, a Clove, and a deadlock to make that work there for Dobros on that first map. Yeah, maybe they have cooked something on Ascent that could maybe throw off MXS, but I doubt it.
All right, well,
but I like to be proven wrong.
Well, it's time to see if they're cooking or about to get cooked. It's time for Agent Select. It's time for Ascent, time for map 3, so I'll catch you two after.
Bye.
So sweet. You always say bye to her.
Oh, it's actually MXS with a deadlock instead.
That is not what I was expecting, especially from Otoshima. But
okay, dude, Turtle Troop, man, you're changing things. I mean, Turtle Troop's the truth. There's a reason why Roy and I called Turtle Troop Turtle Truth. And that's because of this composition. I found so much value. I think after seeing the amount of successful annihilations that came out from Adder in the past maps that they've played here, or the past multiple times that they've played Ascent, you're starting to see value on how you can really work the map with this type of composition. But I won't go back into reanalyzing what's good or bad here with this composition, because we had a chance to see that in that previous series when we had here at the beginning of the night a deadlock being played on Ascent and a victory coming out from YFP against SAD earlier on. Now this time MXS has a chance to do the same thing and start off as well on the attack, and start off in the same way with a 4-1 setup on this left side of the B site.
The setup is so not what I expected from Moist at Shopify, but it just goes to show they're ready to adapt to like the trends, and I guess more so what they think is going to suit them. But for Otoshima to pick this one out, yeah, just more interested to see how they handle this, especially now slowly working themselves, you know, for information.
Yeah, definitely a big shout out to Mac, the coach for MXS, and also Otoshima, working together in tandem to try to just once again evolve with the meta, and also making sure that Ascent's not as boring to watch. So thank you guys, appreciate you all. But there's the owl drone to try to get information to clear out towards Pizza. They'll break a simple owl drone over here, and Otoshima has a full kit to work with for them to disrupt on any type of hits that they want to do. But for DB, they've inserted Zachary into Wine, which is a good thing because there's no KO that could flush him out in that area. And it's a throw towards spawn. Are they going to try to... They're just going to isolate these two players towards the B site with no opportunities to rotate out from the A towards the spawn, towards the B ramp.
You know, wanting to have their backs turned, but Mata not really faking the dash, just more so trying to create some suspense, especially as they lead down towards the backhand side.
30 seconds left.
MXS winning it. What is going? Oh my gosh! And they still get it.
Dude, if anything, they're evanescence for me right now. They're waking me up inside. They're finally waking me up with some shenanigans with the knife fight and a flawless for MXS to start things off. I mean, this is crazy. If anything, though, it's again MXS throwing that wall towards that spawn, but also I'm pretty sure Odashima threw a net towards that back of the side that actually pinned both Riku and Precision, where they really can't move around. And it was an attempt to throw a shock dart towards the back of the side as well. So this is just something that shows that MXS has been drilling as well on how they want to take over these sites. Because what's the natural progression of trying to hold and anchor out the B site is to lose control. Once you lose control of Shack, take the middle portion of default. You lose that, double up towards the back of the site, and you're anchoring that so that the rest of the team can rotate out from the area. And by throwing the wall towards the spawn and by netting those players towards the back of the site, you're not, once again, allowing DB to play the retake in cohesion. And MXS now showing that early in the pistol round, and DB have to be ready for it.
They've seen the heads. Okay.
So did Big.
Literally, yeah, ripping away the dreams of DB and just getting a right click. That's all they're looking for. They don't care about anything else. It's just one. What they really do want. But yeah, shock dart's already set down back into Zachary, but it doesn't do any damage.
What a great start here on Vic, a star anchor player, a star smoker here for MXS. Opening things up too. Now the outlaw from Mata, he wants to chase that second kill. Try to get that up here to get the Blade Storm ASAP and basically just containing the KJ there. They don't really know that Zachary's there as well. So it gives a chance here for maybe Dobros to set up this trade at least into Mata. Oh, no, never mind. They don't clear it towards the end.
Flawless round. Nobody lost.
Just let them try.
But definitely, I mean, finding themselves feeling pretty good with the scoreline. 5-0 already, though, off Mata.
Look at these shots coming through. And for Vic to stay on top of those boxes, spot the top of the hair of Riku as that Sova, and adapt to be able to just isolate the 1v1s where it was supposed to be a guaranteed trade if it committed for the jump up to try to chase that kill when he catches the first player off guard. So nice discipline coming out here from Big.
Gun here.
Unfortunately here, orb being picked up, and they were trying to find a timing in the front of that site. And Andrew's holding it towards Dice. A crossfire set up as well with drone as they score first blood for DB.
Oh, and the timing's perfect. DB, they've held back on the push for now. But then again, they can't even leave. Yeah, they're stuck.
Gap in the wall.
Finds it. Absolute beauty. Not even then, 3 players still stuck up inside of heaven, but it's distracting as Zachary manages to try to find themselves a pick, as Mata was the one entering onto the site, but it doesn't work out that way. 30 health left on Brock, and not really going to bait themselves out, but there's no other access of entry unless they take down that util there, which takes down itself.
Yeah, and the good news is it spikes out in the open, so this gives a chance here for Riku to kind of really set up, catch some players off guard. You can still see that the switch could get hit, which is why it's being watched here by Riku. Just that nobody can cross over, and they both win their individual duels. It continues on from the first map where these players on face-to-face contact are winning these fights here on the side of Moistex Shopify. And that's gonna be a bonus converted. Another eco coming in for DB. And again, no opportunities to activate. I mean, after 3 rounds, they've gotten the same amount of kills. 2 on Riku, 1 for Ange on Dobros, which then means there's no early trap plays you can really do. Can't do any high risk, high rewards with a dash to try to get information or try to get fights. So MXS has a great opportunity now to tally up potentially like a 4, maybe even a 5-0 once again.
They slowly move forward. And the first pick might happen at B, but with Mata here. Oh, and the confidence is just there, even then with the Ghost, and finally pushing themselves away. There's not too much of an abrupt push. They're just trying to sandwich this in for DB, but they can't find it. The correct timing for it. At least Riku left alone, and they can't even really find anything other than a shot off of Mata.
I love that, running out off the timing of the Owl Drone to get that pick. Riku might die right here, but at least they made an impressive shot to make sure that MXS, they still can't really run away with the confidence on their end. That DB still has some fight left in
One
him.
enemy remaining.
Yeah, secured the dub there for MXS. Pulling through with flawless rounds again. I mean, Brock pulling out the Odin is definitely going to be a main concern of mine as well. You know, moving forward as the attack really starts to establish itself. But yeah, Deadlock's looking immaculate. You know, they've managed to square people into certain corners and make people feel really uncomfortable and kind of just, yeah, leave them needing to do things they don't want.
And heavy investment in round number 5, an op coming out from Zachary Odin for Riku. And the op's posted up on middle. He might be a 1 versus 1 against Mata very soon. No util to really help him out, so just a face check. And actually trying to see if it's DB instead that's going to try to walk down to get an op shot into B-Link. And forced to TP out after he got spotted out here by the recon dart inside Wine. But really just a slow default to start things off here for MXS, and for them the game plan, as DB are 4 rounds behind, they feel like they have to make a play. So they're defaulting slowly here, trying to punish them through the smoke. They decide to walk through and decide otherwise now for DB.
Away from this though, the drone catching stuff, but it's like an op battle down in mid. Obviously, the ultimate kind of expended forward, but and it doesn't work out. Mata's going to be able to be the first one to find that first engagement. So the op is down and the economy is just wasted away.
And just nothing working so far here. A nice entry. At least mid control to start things off for MXS. Now they're just going to try to jump spot and bait. I mean, throwing away your bodies, it's okay when you have these trades coming out. Still have a player advantage no matter what now for MXS entering the site. Bladestorm available too, so you could keep this up in the hands of Mata. If it misses a shot, the Bladestorm will pop up and still give a chance here for MXS to set up a crossfire in a post plant. 1 big flash available, double flash actually, for Ange and for Drone. But Mata's holding a deep angle.
Oh, suppression. Doesn't hit where it needs to. And you got players watching the other side as well. A beautiful collateral from Mata.
Remember when we said Mata was going to be a tough player to beat on Breeze? I think we were wrong. It's Ascent instead. And that's an early timeout coming out. Called here by Dobros, by Hazed. And now knowing that whatever they're trying to do on not trying to use util and being posted up on angles or trying to re-clear angles without util, they're getting punished quite easily here by MXS. So they have to add a little bit more behind that util to give a chance here for Zachary to get more value with these ops.
I feel like it's a good time to take a breather too. This is where the stress really does start to hit you. You know, also, let's not forget the memory here of Dobros literally coming back from like a 13-3. So they're not feeling good right now. It's pretty harsh. You're running through, you know, that first hand win. You feel really, really good about it. And then you kind of just get destroyed the next map. So hopes are still high. You can kind of see it. Like they're keeping a hold on to that, but it's just going to be quite difficult, especially with Mata picking up that op. So just finding a way to offset that, and I really do think that relies on Riku and Drone just having that util to kind of set that back.
And hopefully they'll be within the next round now, as DB are forced to be on an eco. Half shields, 3 sheriffs. Looks like all 3 of them, maybe 2 of them are working together here. But it's actually towards the wrong place of the site. It's up towards A.
Mm-hmm.
At least the turret, it's trying to find some sort of information. But nobody's really shooting out here for MXS. They're just waiting to see if there's going to be a trap play behind the turret for the attack side. At least for them to snuff it out to see if DB is trying to play a trap play behind the turret. But now finally they cage it up. They clear it out. And they're playing this very diligently, sorry. Still some good respect given from MXS here over the Dobros.
Oh. Eliminating the trip there for flank potential if they do manage to go away, which it does seem like that's the case for MXS.
30 seconds
I don't
left.
think they want that smoke anymore. After spotting here the drop through and there's nothing really following behind, no smokes being thrown, they might think that there's a stack towards this B site. So they pivot towards A, but no matter where MXS really goes towards this round, it's still rifles against just pistols on the other end. But the more that they're waiting, this Hunter's Fury could do a lot of damage to prevent the plant. There's only 10 seconds left. There's a right click finally from Mata.
Mata's doing good by them, especially with the operator finding Riku some sort of damage, at least though, with the Hunter's Fury. But they're still watching up in heaven. They have heard the sound. They know that somebody's there. They're just waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Of course, the offset's there and done with, but it's Zachary and Riku who just don't know what to do with another one already being picked off and can't seem to find the next. It doesn't matter though. You have the 5v1 and Vic with the wraparound in a flawless round for MXS once again.
Oh, it's so unlucky there that with the time remaining, Riku actually didn't even ping it towards the right spot with the Hunter's Fury, so they couldn't even get or deny that plant. Where did the plant go in the first place? I'm trying to figure out here as they're entering it in. They even pinged towards that generator as you saw a little bit off there. Fly just understood and knew that they were going to try to use a Hunter's Fury with the 10 seconds, the low time that they had remaining in their hands for MXS.
Yeah.
To be able to secure that and not have any shenanigans come through from Dobros. We talked about now utility trying to get Zachary in a good position. It's smoked out early on the attack side. Just trying to break this turret to start things off. And you saw the idea here to get the op posted up towards B main at the start. There's going to be potentially a swing off the turret or just holding the angle first. And then you could maybe even re-clear into the B main to post up the op there. But because of that smoke, it doesn't really allow here DB to really get an aggressive position in the beginning. They have to re-clear it with the minute left on the clock. And the Aldron's going mid instead. So I don't think you're going to be able to go as aggressively towards a B main take.
They're looking to really pull through with the op. They're from Mata, but they're left alone.
Throwing next.
Nobody else watching. Already noise being made there from Otoshima, gathering intel and also baiting themselves, which might work out for the best. Seems like maybe, especially now with a 1v1 set down on Riku, finds the first and now finds a possible second. Mata fighting for their lives, but can't seem to find one.
Yeah, they were trying to throw that wall for a spawn. You saw it being thrown outside of the map, so it still allows here Dobros to rotate out as they execute, goes inside the A site.
Yeah, nice paranoia. Dude, great touch too, Wit. So, though, just underneath Hell.
Time.
Can't win out on the fight. There's so many players as well. So even regardless of the time, it's like you gotta fight 5 different angles and not enough time to try to secure the win. There's a Vandal left in place there for Zachary to collect, but they already know that they're heaven. I mean, regardless of what had happened there. So,
Barrel
waiting
began
for the
sticking
peak.
out.
Oh, no. Oh, they see it now. Can't seem to get anything, knowing the op is there, knowing the recoil's going to take a while. Or the reload. Brock does manage to find that shot. So, 7-0, MXS are really owning.
Yeah, and I just love that the position from Vic going towards Hell before he goes through just does a nice little 2-tap in the head of Drone for, you know, just for a little love of it. And then just position himself and doesn't care to let Zachary know that he's hiding towards Hell, because any type of drops with that position and a crossfire setup on the pulse plant from the Odin there coming out from Brock was going to be an easy setup in the end. So now things are looking good. This is Breeze all over again. 7 unanswered rounds. A quick tempo push-up and a nice deniability. Oh, no, but that's a grab net into a Hunter's Fury. Oh, what a nice little execution coming out here from MXS. That dash pushed them away into the net. But they're still losing the round somehow.
Last player standing.
Oh, Otishima's... This is actually great for DB, I would say. I mean, a big turnaround in the gameplay that we've seen. So maybe they might just be able to pick up from where they left off. Zachary picking up the op as well, so they can use that on the defense. Kind of moving forward to play against MXS, which I do think they need that pressure on the defense. There has been no pressure on the side of MXS from stopping them to hit that A site.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see how this turned out in favor of Dobros, though, with a victory in that round. When it started off with a nice execution coming out from the grab net and the Hunter's Fury, and I'm just seeing Ange lining up the scoreboard, so probably just in a good position here with the Guardian. Gives a little bit of hope right now for DB, a little bit of air in the lungs to try to fight back and climb this hill. Pop flash to start things off, but it's really just a recon Odin spray potentially here. And now that they realize that the Odin's out towards Catwalk, it's an opportunity now for MXS to pivot and focus towards a B main hit.
Over there.
This might be it, though. Precision was watching. Just down inside of halls. They have the lockdown, but they can't use it. They need to fight this off, and they do manage to do so. DB, they are back and ready to rumble. They're not giving up the game just yet. I mean, MXS, they have enough economy to last them for quite some time. So even with the loss here, does it matter? No. But they're getting the rounds back there.
Came from a nice clutch play from a 0 point from Drone. The Fly has something else to say, though. It's not over yet. It's not a sealed round yet for Dobros, because 3 of them are contained inside B. And with the door closed, you can start pushing towards the spawn. Against an op, though, that's going to be difficult.
Last
They've
player
got some
standing.
damage. Okay, well, that's... You just need one. Through the wall, Drone hitting. An impossible shot. Now leaving Flya to kind of fend for themselves. 21 seconds left. The spike not planted, and I'm surprised they didn't even like want to go for a rotation. They know there's so many players just stuck down on the B side. But I guess now it doesn't matter. Yeah, Zachary's just watching. They're like, shut it down. We're done here.
Especially with the hat, they knew that the op was posted up already towards the spawn to not allow here MXS to push in the area and rotate back towards the A side. So you're really kind of just pinned and trying to get the best value out of the Odin spray off the neural theft being thrown out. But at the beginning here, I just love that it was a couple of layers of DB understanding what they had in their arsenal to try to contain and counteract MXS proactiveness towards the B site. And it came off not only the 0 point to stop the annihilation, but the TP that was available from Eng no matter what to move inside B to allow more bodies to help on the crossfire, on the trades. When they wanted to avoid the Odin from Riku in the first place here for MXS.
Deploying drone.
Now a couple of rounds salvage for Dobros, and op still in the hands of Zachary. They've identified that in the previous round for MXS on the attack. And you're tempoing up a little bit faster in your default here. Already breaking an early alarm bot. You're forcing positioning, forcing a push out. And it's a wall bang.
All they need to do is just keep that mid control for DB. They let it go again, which actually might be a risky play because now MXS, they have a lot more control than I think DB understand. Their Armada. Close to taking another one out, yeah.
And that was the play. A wall just to have him creep up and not be afraid of being pushed towards from the spawn. And Brock gets the wall bang. An opener now for MXS to take control.
Or even with the peek. Doesn't work out
30 seconds left.
the way they think it would, but Otashima doing a great job at actually keeping the op, though. Up on op, showdown. Zachary slowly peeking forward, but at least they know now. Making another shot to make it work, and maybe the next one there, but they miss. Nobody's watching. Nobody cared at all what was going on down in the backhand side.
When there's time, they have to move in for the site for the plant instead of fighting against the op.
Last player player standing.
Oh, Vic's only down at 28.
It would have been avoided if they had just turned around. Bought Zachary the first time, but it's okay. 28 health left. 2 players stuck up in heaven. Oh no, but they're sandwiching him in. Vic is not going to have a good time. Still can't watch the top. They don't even know where anybody is. Too afraid to look on the other side, but of course the jump comes down! The second, the third, not possible, but Zachary cleans it up. An insane play!
DB is not out of this yet, but there was a moment where, once again, the win would have been taken out of the sails of the momentum that was being built up by Dobros from Vic's 1 versus 3 attempt that was almost converted. But this, I do agree with you on that second kill. How is Brock not turning around? Where was the call on that one? And it feels just at the same time, there was so much utility and firing that was happening from the tree side that maybe the comms get lost here throughout the action, and it allowed here Zachary to be able to get the backstab on the 2 kills. And you have to give credit on how they're able to turn that over for Zachary. The proactiveness for them to want to push towards the B main. When they realized there was no pressure coming out from MXS from the get-go in that previous round out towards B. And now a contact play when the trade when a cage goes down, sorry.
Zachary's actually settled down pretty nicely inside of there, and they did get 2. So, yeah, looking good on the defense so far. MXS struggling to keep themselves in the game, but maybe it's up to Vic to take another headshot in. They see them come from the top.
Spike down.
They can't use the smoke in this moment in time. Precision with a cleanup. Maybe it's closer than we thought. 7 of 4 already resigning.
Round before the switch.
And somehow, when it was one-sided from the get-go from MXS, this was a 7-0 scoreline for Moist X Shopify. And the last round of the half, their economy's finally broken. So Dobros has a chance to close that gap to a 5-7. And trying to find value off this operator up towards mid to start things off. And MXS just trying to find pressure on this A side first.
My ult's ready.
Name of the game is trying to get the Blade Storm up as soon as possible from Ada. Oh.
Get out of my way.
Yeah, nice shot off Flya, but does get humbled by Precision. He backs off. Doesn't care too much, though. Again, DB, they've been good at keeping the patient.
The thing is, though, is that they still have this deadlock that you could throw towards the market with the wall.
here.
And also at the same time, there's no recon dart, recon dart above any smokes on the execution towards B. So this puts Precision in a very weakened spot now at the B site. So they have to capitalize on the information by jump spawning here. It just got pinged out here from the attack side, knowing that an Ange is there, and Ange realizes that too and knows now that the hit's about to come here towards this B site.
Closing the door, but oh yeah, still trying to clear things out. Mara doesn't know somebody's on site. Even then, the suppression going to make this quite difficult. They sandwich in.
30 seconds.
They don't know what's going on. 3 angles to watch, and they do manage to walk away with 1, but with Mata being low, it doesn't matter. 2v2 situation with Zachary on the op, and the retake going to be quite difficult unless the Blade Storm comes out.
Yeah, it definitely will, and they have 2 flashes for drone. So this might give a chance here for them to clear out towards the site. 10 seconds left on a knife, too. To potentially throw towards the back of the site. Updraft off the flash. Information on 1.
Oh, they've been notified. And Zachary just setting up drone for success.
And that comes back to that first map here of Dobros where we commended the fundamentals and the communication that Dobros has bought on the map of Lotus.
Yeah.
That really took MXS for a loop.
Switching sides.
Just waiting on the first initiation to get information on where that first person is and wait for the 0 point just to make sure that you cancel out any type of extra utility coming out on that 2 versus 2, yet still win 2 individual 2v1 trades. Beautifully done by Dobros to, again, salvage 5 rounds in a row to make this as a close game into a second half.
It went from Mata being like so victorious on the op, playing into the jet and just annihilating everyone, to actually it being Zachary now, which, you know, big role switch. Although with another switch coming through, looking as to how that's going to work out. The deadlock now taking place on the defense, which I like a lot more.
That's one of the annoying things here to play against with a deadlock on defense, right? We haven't had a chance to see too much there earlier on tonight, but getting this early wall towards the B main, it doesn't really allow for DB to really activate on mid to B splits, especially on pistol rounds that you see that it's very potent to use or very useful to do here on the splits. That's just gonna have to slow things down for a bit. There's a lot of util to help out Brock here inside this B site, despite him holding this site solo. Unbreakable trip towards the market, camera to look towards the market at the same time. An opportunity for them to spray with a ghost off these trips.
They're trying to break the trip, but it's placed
My eyes are down.
so diligently that even then, like, not really going to do much. Nobody's playing with it either, so even then they break it. You're
What
going to have
nerdy
to fight the
lineup is this?
backside. Yeah, by yourself. Barak is just trying their best, and they do manage to take away from one. Oh, might just be good enough, though. Odashima
Grounded.
taken away from that. Zachary, though, looking for another pick to take down into their own hands, but yeah, timing there for MXS. They managed to find more than just one, but the 2v2 is exactly what they need to try to overcome. Looks like even then, Flyo with the Jiggle Peak not going to work, and Vic isn't even there to try to help with whatever fight they're looking to take. And the shot dart, no damage done.
Revealing area.
Time is of the essence. They need one. They left their teammate alone to fend for themselves, and the 1v2 is possible. But it's up to Rika to try to isolate. Down, right, left, up, and down. They tried to hide themselves, but Flya clears it up. That's 8-5 for MXS.
Sounds like you were reading a cheat code back in the Nintendo days that didn't give you any extra lives on that 1v2 clutch attempt. Unfortunate timing for Ange to run out from the back B site just to get a better timing and a crossfire setup in the end when the other two players are going to try to drop inside that site. But I was going to say, what was that nerdy lineup that was coming out here from Odashima? And it lines up perfectly towards the lane to even catch players trying to cross over towards the area to give a chance here for Brock inside the back site to try to get some kills. Imagine if he had his extra player with him. That could have been so devastating and deadly, but nonetheless, still a round converted now for MXS. A pistol round in their favor. Second pistol of this map.
Scanning ahead.
Ares out. No kill, but a huge damage and a timing on that one. 10 HP left. No support from Flya. And a re-hit. Oh, nice.
Good job, though. Executing onto the site. But still, taking out a pretty good share of the players of MXS. Mata doesn't even know whatever's going on the left. And they have to clear Garage, but they have to clear the left-hand side. They don't even see it! The headshot still comes through, leaving Odashima with some sort of hope there. They could expend some sort of util, but yeah, run and gun not going to work, unfortunately, for them. And an interesting turnaround for a round that should have been favored for MXS.
Yeah, if anything, that's great opportunities and a great advantage being done here as... Sorry, great window of opportunity that was taken away here by DB onto MXS as Brock seemed to be so committed to try to get the wallbang spray onto Zachary and allowing one player to push forward to open up that B site, and that really started unraveling the rest of the round here for DB, capitalizing on close range combat with classics. And the Spectre, unfortunately, not in the favor of Flya when it was trying to get that spray and the drive-by when his cage came down. So this is a great thrifty by Dobros. The weapon upgrades are mostly free right now for Dobros. If you're looking at what they bought here, there's only Drone that purchased a Phantom. For the rest, it seems to be armor that went across the board with utility. Precision with utility on his side as well with armor because he upgraded into the Spectre. They have a chance now to bring this back in their attack side. Might be a bait and switch here. That wall got thrown up so that so that they're trying to trap Vic behind it here.
Ooh.
Just trying to sell that they blocked off the wall. Oh no, the owl drone. Now good luck to Vic. He's so pinned out in this corner. Can't even TP away.
Oh my gosh. And the shock darts hit.
He's
each
like,
and
"Get
every
me outta
time.
here."
He just, yeah, honestly, I'd be traumatized too at that point. But even then, like, so much damage being made over towards B while this workup was happening down in mid. Oh, and they can't even find it. Mata with a magnificent headshot to start off the fight happening over towards mid, but everybody wants to join it. Still, that being said, Mata can't really seem to fight anything off with the pistol in hand, but still stuck down behind Jen is, of course, the judge, and maybe just one more and they would have been able to take out Riku and possibly fight that 1v3. There goes Brock, taking another one in. The headshot needed to work it out, but precision won't let it happen. DB with that 7-8.
It almost looked like it was going to be something that was going to unravel okay here for the attack side of DB, especially after that first kill from Mata. Just because of that damage that was given to Vic at 5 HP that he had remaining towards B main, it seems like there was some sort of communication for them to try to fight back or try to group up to try to pick up that judge. But then as soon as Mata got contact, it kind of broke the timing that they had to try to pinch back towards middle to go for the crossfire setup for the Ghost and the Classics there towards middle. But somehow they still managed to, Vic still manages to get a kill with 5 HP left inside the site. There's more classic kills coming through. It keeps the economy low right now for Dobros. Despite them getting a thrifty round, this might be a gun round for both of these teams that will force an eco into the next round. So I think that's why this timeout's going to be super important here. The last one being called out by Dobros. So they don't let this opportunity slip for them to tie up the game against MXS. Because they could tie up the game and potentially take the lead here. If we're going to look at the money after this timeout to see if it's going to be low for MXS.
A timeout taking its toll. And the op back in the hands, but this time on the defense, which
That goes there.
well needed.
Yes,
I feel like, especially with the way that things are going. Yeah, Dobro's definitely feeling good about just like everything that's been going on, right? They finally gotten the comeback that they wanted. They're not really losing as badly as they were before, and they feel like they do have a genuine read on this team of MXS.
Or it looks like the economy, after you see it now, still quite healthy for Dobros, but a gamble now for MXS. Glass cannon for Mata. Good in this position as he's had wall bangs in the past. More support to come through too. There's a trap set up on both ends. And really, a 0 point could take out any of this utility. If it lands here at the feet of Flya. Drone just finally has it activated for the second time. That was close. Counter spray attempt. It seems as though it's a win here for MXS so far with Brock. Shock dart damage.
Applying a huge amount of pressure, though. At least they were previously over towards B. It seems like they've
30
decided to
seconds
reside
left.
somewhere else, but still looking for the B side. And this is great, though. I mean, regardless, all they need to do is break that trip. 3 players coming up behind, but it needs to be a quick take onto the site. And the only worry being, of course, you know, trying to get themselves out of the way for this. Flya
13
takes
seconds.
advantage of the trips. Yeah, time not really looking too good. They slowly try to work themselves in, and Brock goes down, so they can't hold the site any longer. Mata, absolutely no information going into what they can aim for with the op. All they really do have is just the smoke in front of them and maybe a wide swing that can work out. They don't even know. Somebody's still stuck inside of Garage, so the information is there. Ange knows what they need to hit for.
A fake TP as well. And it just set up towards that back of the site, though. Low HP on Riku. Have to retake with an Ano. Odoshima's already running away. Vic, the only thing he can do now is contain the last 2 players in the blast radius just to make it expensive for Dobros in the next round. Unfortunately, The two players trying to anchor towards the back of the site for MXS couldn't get more for their troubles, and there's the exit kills. A tied up game and two important rifles save into the next round for MXS. We mentioned it. This was going to be a broken econ for Moistex Shopify should they lose this round. Oh, what a beautiful setup there. But again, they couldn't capitalize on too much after that with Fly and Brock in the back of the site. Expending a lot of these bullets just to try to take down that dash from Zachary that got caught by that trip.
Time is not wasted at all for this team. Man. MXS. They've just lost way too much at this point. A huge lead that is gone within seconds.
Really, the only silver lining is if you've seen that it's been very, very late hits out of Dobros, just trying to capitalize on mistakes here if MXS are a little bit too antsy, knowing that the lead that they've built up is finally slipping through and they feel that they have to make heroic plays. But the more time that they wait right now, it's going to be the reverse situation where Brock has the Hunter's Fury to try to delay and deny the plant. Riku missed it the previous time that he played the defensive side, but I don't think a player like Brock will at this point.
Yeah, though they're... Dobro's just so silent, waiting for the 30-second mark to push themselves in. And Brock is waiting off that as well. Information kind of given away, and they do manage to find somebody. But even then, shots fired. And Drone is only able to find one. That's going to be off Vic. No controller utility that can be utilized in this moment right now, but still so many players left onto site. And Flya, even then, they have the Sheriff, but they're still fighting for their lives on MXS, and this might be the turnaround that was needed. But it's Rico holding on, somehow keeping this team in the game.
My.
Dobros might be able to make some sort of history here.
And they get a plant 2 on top, though, with the final seconds again. Somehow Ange stuck the from the shadows from his Omen play just to keep the players out so the other ones could flood into sight. Selfless play allowing DB to be set up on a 2 versus 1. Up in the hands of Zachary. Mana trying to retake this. There's really no time.
Chances of them being able to do so are very slim. The no-scope shot to keep MXS in the game is insane.
No way that just happened. Are you kidding me, Mana? Are you kidding me that is the play to clutch the 1 versus 2 for Moistex Shopify?
So, what's the plan?
What? I'm speechless.
I am as well. I'm
feel like I just
speechless.
watched-
I can't even breathe.
I feel like I just watched a game of COD. Like, that did not feel real.
Oh my god, and they're calling a timeout on top of that too, just to make sure that they understand. I mean, it was an expensive round that they had on the previous round to win, and losing so many players in the process as well. You have to figure out what you could buy. How are you going to play these plays? Rico almost saved the round there for the team. And this play, a no-scope onto Riku. The right click. 3 of them all hitting to get the defuse at 1.64 left.
Dude, that... I just don't even, like... What do you do after that? I feel like from this... It's one specific play that really does well, right?
Yeah.
But it's like you need more. And like as freaking awesome as that play was, I just want to... There needs to be more at this point because DB, they still have that momentum.
But low credits around this buy. Guardian only in the hands of Precision. They have the null command, and both of the players, both Sentinels, a full trap towards this B site, playing outside of the radius of the KO ult. Gambling here that the amount of times that DB has been finding success on their attack side is finishing towards B. So you need now this op from Mata to be posted up, to be shown, so you funnel the players back towards this B side for the KO ult when you're trying to default around the map now for DB.
Okay.
Okay, this is also very good, though.
Yeah.
Because now you're showing the hands of both Sentinels are there, too. They're like, oh, maybe the trap play's over there. So if they fall back towards the B side with the null command, or they just want to straight fight into the A side with the null command, that would be the better read here for DB. And it's the later.
Yeah, Hunter's Fury. On both ends, actually. Wow, Modest just, like, does not miss a shot with the op. That's another one down. And they're not even, they're afraid they can't peek the angle. Riku having to take the top spot.
Yikes.
In order to even feel confident.
Seconds left.
I thought they just no-scoped there. I'm not going to let my heart stop. I was like, holy
Pull
shit.
on your bag of Doritos. 360 no-scope again. Indeed, at least this spike gets picked up. Frustrating, these shots are not missing, but there's so much util to support behind, and there it is.
Down A.
Last one hit by the paranoia. Chasing for the kills. Now the confirmed round in favor of MXS. I mean, keeping him alive would be kind of big right now for MXS. Because now he's only at 150. With the save that he has, he only has 1,000 credits. So he doesn't have too much of a strong buy with the rest of his team. So it's going to stay fairly low on a half buy.
One enemy remaining.
Definitely changing the tides, though. Like, a lot more tension between
Bring your
these
best.
two teams. Moist Shopify definitely putting in a lot of work, you know, to keeping themselves just a lot more aggressive, honestly, on the defense. And it's so interesting to see. Oh, no, but that sucks. Honestly, either way, it could definitely work. If Vic stays silent down in the back.
Mud on a hunt. I mean, he's been feeling the last couple of rounds. Might as well continue here. After the alarm bot breaks, he has an opportunity to backstab a couple of players. There's that first shot.
Get out of my way.
We'll see if precision. I mean, he's pre-firing his shots too, so he's giving his position away. Trying to rotate back for DB to just regain control of Cat. There's just too many players posted up. That's 3 players. A family picture to take down Zachary.
Not is just not really caring about anything. We have taken up some space there from Precision, though, too. And the ultimate is still readily available. They're not going to use it. Instead, actually just clearing it out themselves, playing off that contact, and maybe keeping it for the post plant. But, you know, how well is that going to work? Suppression already set down.
Ooh.
In the middle of sight down towards B.
30
but
seconds
yeah,
left.
they're leaving. They're going down to A.
I mean, the knife already hit both of them towards the back of the site, so they know that Vic committed into that TP. And now pushing towards that spawn. At some point, they have to realize here, yeah, with 18 seconds left, they have to start making noise. So it's a double stack now towards Hell. Outlaw and a Bulldog.
10 seconds left.
Just underneath Hell. So many players there,
One
Mata.
enemy
It's
remaining.
insane. And just will not let anybody survive. Making everybody go blind. Precision, yeah, having to take a step back. They have not really anything to use in this moment, to be completely honest with you. It's a wide swing outside of the smoke that has to happen. Yeah, and Fly's just going to shut it down. So big defusal on the side of MXS.
Oof. At least a lockdown was available here for Precision after this kill onto Brock. Remember, it was a lower buy that we have here for Dobros, so an opportunity now to capitalize something with a buy around this lockdown.
Here.
It was looking to lean here towards this B side, but looks like there's a last second pivot to focus back towards A. This might be trying to sell a fake here towards this B site. We're going to have to go against a wall, sonic sensor, lots of util from the deadlock here towards this A site.
Yeah, initiating the first contact there. Oh, no, they didn't actually see Mana. I feel like if they knew, yeah, they're backing off. They're like, heck no, I'm not dealing with this. But even then, information given away. Mata taking a step back.
Blocking movement.
That's going to be annoying to deal with.
Yeah.
Now the position's given away.
Hold them.
3 players are already there. There's the annihilation. Contact. 4 players now contacted and seen here towards the tree.
Oh, so lucky to actually keep themselves out of the way, but they whiffed the shot. And that would have been beautiful. They could have at least gotten one to leave Mata for the rest of them. Maybe force some cleanup. But they should know.
KJ's still alive. There you go. That's the lockdown placed.
Mm-hmm.
The tide's turning over to DB.
Could be big, though. Oh my gosh, the jiggle peaks. And it's getting so dangerous.
Oh, they wallbang to get rid of the lockdown as well. But that's it. Falling back here for MXS, saving the weapons, and you'll take that small win. Having to force DB out with the lockdown in the pulse plant. And they'll have less util to work with now on their own takes now for Dobros. Oh my god, dude. What a read. He did some damage onto there, but imagine they were low. What a nice little nerdy shock dart here from Rock. But it looks like we have a game on our hands, something that Tarek loves to say.
Oh gosh. This is kind of, honestly, I mean, Mata's just really stepping up. He is really getting in the groove. 26 and 13. Like, I just want to admire that for a moment.
Yeah, he's definitely getting a lot of shots here on the defensive side. The big clutch. And you're seeing how comfortable he's moving around the map, too, under the chaos of trying to retake towards the site when it's not doable. Oh, it's a showdown. If only they knew.
Revealing area. Take flight.
This is it. They find this one off Zachary. I genuinely think they've opened this up for MXS even more. But Zachary, they're not going to go down without a fight.
And the Eldron was used towards B main as well, so this is an opportunity here for Mata to get that surprise factor and the surprise pick into main. Zachary's about to cross over as well. Oh, no.
No way. They saw the barrel of the gun. They know another one's going to try to follow up from that. But a flash. This is beautiful. Mata reading into this perfectly.
Oh. Spotted the Odin. Precision gets the pick up to Brock, though. An opportunity to pick up Spike. No left. TPs to meet up with the rest of the team. So they're split off across here. And Precision is giving room to breathe now for DB with that pick onto Mata.
You only got one player left alone on the side. Mata's gone. Now you've got to fight for this by yourself. Maybe they can do so. 11 seconds left. The wide swing outside the smoke doesn't work.
My.
And that's fine, though, because Big with the fake TP. They know they can fight this. And might they will. Still, left and the right. They need to watch both angles. They're feeling confident, but Anne shuts it down.
We're seeing the precision of Lotus once again. On a fade, winning a 1 versus 4 pistol. On a Breeze where he didn't have an opportunity to really shine. But now in the late rounds of Ascent, gets a 4K right now to keep DB in the game. Catching up to Mata's scoreline as a Sentinel player, creating space for a team when it's supposed to be your initiator and your duelist. Precision does not want to lose this series now against MXS. And the last time out not being called by Moistex Shopify. Not sure what the econ's gonna be looking like so far. I was so hyper-focused on Precision's amazing shots. I know somebody in the chat said earlier on, he could almost say he's on point. I like that one. The dad in me chuckled, so I had to use it.
My gosh. This is like... It's crazy. I feel like either way, whatever way this game goes, like this was probably the most interesting series I've seen thus far.
so
all in
many
all.
games have
Yeah.
definitely gone to this tonight. Where when we preface this matchup here, it was supposed to be technically like a easy 2-0 for MXS on paper, right? It's a team that came back from promotion relegation tournament. That's DB almost losing when in the first round in upper semis lost to, I think, Resonate, and had to do the lower bracket gauntlet to make it back into stage 2. And coming into stage 2 in week 1, they're about to be one of the best teams here currently in Challengers, and that's MXS. If they could convert these, because so far it's looking pretty good. One more round against an eco so far from MXS, they could tie up this game. And the winning condition now for the defensive side, of Moist X Shopify is this Blade Storm from Mata. It has been a superstar so far in this second half.
Same thing again, right? Mid information kind of feeding into the mix. But more quiet approach, waiting for the dissipation of the smoke. Oh no, Mata's not waiting at all. Mata's going straight for it. Also humbling themselves at the same time.
Only 3 daggers left too. And now you're starting once again to see a very late hit by DB. Down to remaining seconds, committed now towards this A site.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, but they found one. Especially watching with the Odin down in the extremities is going to be super hard to get by, but I guess it's even harder when I don't even know what to do. Mata needs one. They only have 3 more kunais left to be able to reload that up, and that's what they will do. 13 seconds left. And they kept the spike in their hands. This might just be the way that they push themselves up to that match point, and yes, it will be a thrifty round from Mata.
A classic kill, an upgrade to an Odin, a help from the Blade Storm 2 in perfect timing. When the knife actually hit Mata, and we omit it to check towards the right side of those boxes, it allows here for Mata to get a double kill when Flya got that wall bang onto drone from tree. Oh, that's going to be heartbreaking so far as DB almost had an opportunity to tie up this game. And all they have left now is trying to fight for overtime. MXS back in the driver's seat, back in the hand of Mata, and Brock with the opening kill wallbang onto a star player position. That's been the key player so far for Dobros to come back in this game.
I thought another collateral was going to happen, and I got worried for a second. Because Dobros, they cannot go out like that, but it's already 3 players left standing.
Yeah.
And the match point is there. Like, this could very much be it if they do not get a pick.
I can hear it. There's just so much util. The wall is blocking the main. They got a camera active, just staying in it as Flya, making sure that nobody's walking up on middle. And 3 players just to set up the contact off the op. On the wall from behind!
How does he just let that go? Anchess might have actually just turned this around if they continue through with this, but I think Brock's going to be a huge, huge problem. Especially as they slowly make their way. All they need is a wall bang and a half to try to push through. No. Difficult. Waiting for the paranoia, pushing through with this and leaving drone some space. No, they're not pushing that. They've left the molly to try to create some sort of tension there, but they walk right into the hands of Brock. A pop flash waiting to be put down to it, but it's Brock that doesn't have a lot of time. They need to do the best they can. They turn around to try to avoid the flash, but DP are holding on for dear life.
And MXS, they don't have too great of a buy. They could get maybe 2 good rifles, and that's it. Vic buying that Vandal for Mata in this round. And if they don't convert this, we're going into overtime. But how the hell did Ange make it through behind enemy lines? MXS counted way too much on the sonic sensor that was placed by Otoshima. And Ange just walked through to get the backstab kill on 2 kills and gives a chance now for DB to tie up this game. When we talked about precision to be the key player, somebody else had to step up. And he got it there and got it done.
Drawn.
Oh, they tried to shut that down actually real quick.
You're just training util right now just to get false information on both ends. Both owl drones trading through. MXS continuing to add a little bit more pressure on how they want to hold the A main with this wall. And they're definitely not letting anybody walk through the sonic sensor on A main now. So it's up to DB now to work the map, because they definitely won't find any openings this time.
Got a dash set. Mata doesn't actually want to play aggressive here.
30 seconds left.
I know the match point is pretty dire. So all they have to do is find one here for DB in order to keep themselves in the game, maybe keep themselves down into that OT.
They're going into the Odin, though. The strongest
Yeah.
weapon of MXS.
Pop flash does come out. Oh, Brock is still waiting, and they do manage to find one. They're going to try to spray down, but they don't check the angle.
Oh!
Unfortunately, relying too much on everybody else, but Mata's there.
It's over.
It's done. It's GG. They just... Okay.
Oh, man, 13-11. They had all the reads and all the comebacks, and the only weapon they had to try to avoid was Brock's Odin, and they went right into it for the execution. And that's what happens when you're trying to play such a slow default and you're not able to find the positioning of your opponents and the utility that was currently being placed around the map. I mean, they have traded Owl Drones in that last round, so I'm still surprised here that the DB still wanted to fight towards that site for the execution. But at the end of the day, this has been an amazing showing by Dobros that really pushed MXS to the limit here, Sierra.
I don't even have words, honestly. This was a map that, if we all remember, started in favor 7-0 for MXS. I was worried once we got to this map that we were just about to have the most boring second two maps for our best three, and it was going to be done and done. But honestly, how insane this was, Dobro stepping up, and Mata over and over with just the impact that he had in this round. Gompers, this was, what a series.
This was a movie, and I just got to watch it for free. It was crazy, and I'm so happy walking away from this because, like, from the beginning, I felt like Mata. This was a player
This was
that we
crazy,
highlighted.
by the way.
That was insane.
Dude, crazy.
Absolutely crazy. This was a player that we kind of looked at and we were like, dude, like, Mata is the star. Mata's a great duelist. Mata's going to be somebody you need to look out for. And in the beginning, we didn't really get that. We saw the complete opposite, even on Breeze. But this map in particular was like the playground for Mata. Just going left and right, no scoping kids. I literally felt like I was getting bullied. I was about to cry. And it's the perfection behind MXS and this team and just the resilience, the overall setups that allowed Mata to shine the way that he did.
And one guy deadlifting, which is Mata.
I mean, as well, I will give props for Dobros for how close this was. I mean, this was a map that looked like for a second it was about to go into that overtime. There was so many times where we saw a good play come in on out just to get shut down by Mata. I'm thinking back to earlier rounds, even that call out in the highlights where right at the last second, Mata with the no scope in the classic to finish it off in the 1v2.
That was insane.
It's little things like that. There's so many different scenarios where I think if there was anyone other than Mata in that situation, you put any other duelist there, maybe we'd be looking at an OT or a Dobros win. But Van's honestly coming on clutch through and through.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, as much I didn't have too many stocks going into Dobros going into the stage 2. Again, a team that had to crawl back. And you mentioned it. Sometimes it comes down to like the low-hanging fruit of saying you can only go up from here because you start at the bottom. You made it all the way through play-ins relegation and came back. But they literally did come back with a vengeance here for Dobros and coming out with not only different compositions, being able to play against also the deadlock that came out from TTR, and also showing that they're able to pull out something new of their own side with the Lotus composition that they came out with. I love what I saw here from Dobros, and I'm loving the evolution of all these teams currently playing into challengers. But at the end of the day, the unsung heroes are definitely like the consistency that you see from MXS, from Mata in this jet role to really help MXS pull through.
I mean, if this is just the Dobros that we're seeing here in week 1 of stage 2, Gomps, I'm excited for more coming on out forward, because this could have been a very drastically different result. This could have been us about to talk to Dobros right now, and I feel like this was a really strong game for them to show that they are going to be competitive in this league that they almost got relegated from.
Dude, like, for Dobros too, and of course a big congratulations to MXS. Like, it was insane. I feel like we definitely got to see like a team that is basically developed, but also still developing and really finding just the flow, right? And we did get to see a little bit of that. Obviously, playing up against Dobros, they managed to put in a lot of pressure on a team that is considered one of the top teams. And to do something like that just goes to show that this team is not done developing either. And there is a possibility for maybe a rematch, right? And then like, listen, I'll be there. Just let me know. I would do it for free at this point. Like,
like, just make sure I'm signed up. I'll be sitting there with my popcorn. I'm ready to go. But we'll have to wait for that rematch, of course. For right now, you can sit by with your popcorn, because I have Mata on the line to talk a little bit more about that series, everything going on with the squad. Congratulations, first off, on the victory. That was an insane game 3, insane set in general. And I want to know your thoughts about that game 3, because you were popping off, and they were... I mean, I'm thinking back to you being stuck over and wine over on A. I'm thinking of your 1v2 clutch. Was this more of a stressful or fun game for you?
No, I was having a lot of fun. Like, I know it's kind of not the best thing to say when the game was so close, but I mean, the truth is, like, when you're feeling it that hard, like, the game is just really fun, and I felt pretty unstoppable, so yeah.
You looked unstoppable, and hey, you can say, maybe I should say this, but I think your stats and your results kind of speak for itself on that one. The fact that we got 3 maps in this series, I think, was a surprise to a lot of people out there, considering MXS's history and Dobro's kind of struggling a little bit, but the Lotus, to start things off, was a little rough. Was it a case of MXS just not really expecting the composition? Was it a little slow to start? Like, what happened there on that first map?
I think they definitely like caught us off guard with their comp. Like, that's for sure. Like, we were pretty shocked, and the things they were doing weren't like super unique, but they were different from what we're used to playing like against. And I don't know. I think we just start off slow a lot. I don't know why, but hopefully we can fix that before playoffs. I mean, that's all that really matters at the end of the day. Like, the game was close for us. It's not like exactly the result we wanted, but all that matters is like that goal at the end of the road. So yeah.
As long as you get the win in the end there, and to get the win on that final map of Ascent, we got to see then MXS pick up the deadlock, which is something we've gotten to see in Challengers. The Turtle Troop did, YFP pulled it out earlier today. So I'd like to know too why the team decided to go towards this deadlock as opposed to the regular composition that you had.
I don't know, we just wanted to try it. That's it.
Respect. The team like it? I know there was the one little rough patch with the A main push through, but other than that, did you guys enjoy the deadlock?
You're gonna have to ask someone else. It's not my question to answer, unfortunately.
All right, I'll wait till next week and I'll bug someone else about that.
Yeah, you can ask
but
them about this week again.
Perfect. It's definitely been a long day, so I want to make sure you can get some rest. Mata, thanks so much for chatting. Have a good rest of your night, okay?
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Back over to the desk for that. I can't believe Mata just threw like, you're gonna have to wait till next time at me about this deadlock. But hey, there's a lot more Valorant coming up, fans. So.
If anything, his responsibility was just look at his crosshair, dance around like he wants to, and then just shoot with the op. Who cares about anything that's happening around them and be like, oh, I'm gonna throw this wall for you. No, I'm just gonna be posted up and get an op shot. I'm just gonna dash and get some dagger kills. And Mata was feeling it. I like he said, and it definitely showed in the server. He was so fluid around that map of Ascent. And the rest of it is it's all on Otoshima and Mac.
I like how at least it fits the headcanon that the duelists are just like hey, go kill, and just being able to accomplish
Exactly.
that more than fine. Definitely showing up well. But Gomps, I mean, that was an insane match to be ending off our day. And then even if it wasn't necessarily the victory that MXS wanted in this, still being able to get that dub in the end.
Yeah, I know, like, players tend to be pretty hard on themselves, and I feel like even coming out of this, they're going to review. They're going to, you know, tell themselves what they're going to do better coming into the next one, and that's what makes them the team that they are. That's what puts them in the spot where, you know, no matter what, no matter how hard the game is, right, they're going to thrive. And I genuinely feel like there's a lot of that we're missing out on, and we're going to be able to see on the future when it comes down to MXS, and I'm super excited for it.
Of course, the next time we'll be able to see them is next week, but we still have one more day of Valorant for all you Valorant fanatics out there. Because, of course, we still have a full day tomorrow of matches. The matches that have already been happening, Vans, have been so up and down. I think this has been so exciting to be following through so far, but we'll be able to see newly promoted Blinn taking on TSM, then later Core versus Turtle Troop. That will be an exciting day.
And remember when we had the pregame show this week with Roy and myself, Roy actually did mention that Blinn Esports took TTR 3 maps in the mid-season cup as an up-and-coming team, a newly appointed team into Challengers, a second collegiate team coming through. And for me, this is a TSM and Blinn Esports that both Roy and I agree that are the dark horses going to stage 2 that can make a huge impact going into the playoffs. So this is going to be a very fun match to watch and to look out for. And especially also that Core versus TTR is going to be a fun one too. It's always fun to watch T-Dog, you know?
I mean, we've had 2 out of 3 days of VALORANT Challengers this week delivering, so I think it's safe to say that the third one will as well, but that's unfortunately it for today. Thanks everyone so much for tuning in. Fans, Gomps for being awesome as well, production for all of the hard work you put in. Make sure to tune back in tomorrow for another day of Valorant, but until then, have a great rest of your night, everyone.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Put down.
One enemy remaining.
Nowhere to run!
Last player standing. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Spike down. 10 seconds left. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
Off your feet!
One enemy remaining. 30 seconds. No more dreams. One enemy remaining.
Where is everyone?
One enemy remaining.
Poison's gone. My see ya.
One enemy remaining.
Dead.
enemy remaining.
It is done.
One enemy remaining.
Squash the line.
Planted.
My butter broke. You were a mistake. Enemy down.
30 seconds left. One enemy remaining.
Last one.
10 seconds left.
No more right here.
Bye. Enemy kill.
One enemy remaining. Spike planted. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
My ult's ready. This is nothing.